What an exciting development. And if you've watched some of my earlier videos about the precious metals that Costco has been offering over the last several months, you probably heard me say, I wish that Costco would start offering gold American Eagles. And guess what? They have. Costco has started to sell the American Gold Eagle. I think that is a fantastic development, and I could not be more happy. If you're new to the channel, my name is White Cross. You can call me Dub C, you can call me White. I answer to just about anything, and that's the exciting news we have today, is that Costco is now offering American Gold Eagles as one of their bullion products that they are offering online and probably in some stores. American Gold Eagles, that is really exciting. If you're new to the channel, I like to begin each of my videos with a simple disclaimer, and that is, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not trying to offer you any kind of financial advice. I'm simply trying to share some of my experience having bought and sold precious metals and rare coins for the last 30 or 40 years. And I also like to begin my videos with a couple of definitions that we can kind of work back into the subject matter that we're talking about. And this is a fantastic opportunity for us to kind of dive a little bit deeper into the difference between 24 karat gold and 22 karat gold. There is no better opportunity to do it than when we are talking about the American Gold Eagles. So let's start with a really quick definition of what 24 karat gold is. 24 karat is simply pure gold. It has no other alloys or even contaminants, if you want to think about them that way. It is 99.9% pure. That's in the percentages. We talk about precious metals expressing purity in millesimal figures, and that is tenths, hundredths, and thousandths of a decimal point. So in the case of 24 karat gold, we call 24 karat gold 0.999 pure. We consider that to be absolutely pure gold. We don't care about that last 10,000th of a decimal point. It doesn't really matter. And in fact, most refineries refine to 0.999 pure or 99.9% pure gold. That is considered the industry standard. So 24 karat gold, 99.9% pure gold, 0.999 gold, they are all the same thing. That is the industry standard for pure gold. But not every gold bullion coin is 99.9% pure. In fact, gold coins haven't really ever been pure gold up until the 20th century. There were some exceptions, but for the most part, you have to remember that gold coins were circulated, they were spent, and because of that, and the fact that gold is a very, very soft element. Speaking of metals, it's a very soft metal, but it's still quite hard. But because of that, gold tends to peen or flatten down. It wears a little bit when it's very pure. It's the softness of gold. So gold is often alloyed or mixed with other metals to make it just a little bit harder. And the traditional alloys of American gold coins, going back for the last couple of hundred years, have been 90% pure gold and 10% copper. That 90% gold is what our circulating gold coins were made up until 1933. That formula of 90% pure gold and 10% pure copper worked very well. It meant that our coins kept their shape, and that keeping their shape built the integrity of the pieces. It made people trust them a little bit more, knowing that their gold wasn't going to wear down any in circulation. So 90% was the standard that the United States used for hundreds of years. But when we decided to start making a bullion coin, and that's exactly what the American Gold Eagle is. It is a modern bullion coin. We decided, the United States of America, decided to make these bullion coins out of 91.67% pure gold. This 91.67% pure gold is also known as 22 karat gold. And this has been a traditional alloy of gold that has been used for hundreds of years. If you are slightly older, you may know of the Krugerrands from South Africa. Those are 91.67% pure gold. The balance of those is made of copper. That makes a very durable gold coin. The same thing is true of the British sovereign. This is a very popular gold coin that was spent in England and the United Kingdom for hundreds of years, going back to the early 1800s. Those sovereigns were also 91.67% pure gold. So this is a known standard that has been widely accepted for all around the world for hundreds of years. When America decided to release its first gold bullion coin, we decided on 91.67% pure gold, but we didn't go with a balance in copper like South Africa did for the Krugerrand. We actually made our 22 karat gold out of 5.33% copper and 3% silver. So our American gold bullion coins actually have a small amount, 3%, of silver in them. This makes the coins a brilliant, beautiful, kind of straw-colored gold that really does make a gorgeous coin. And it also makes the coins a little bit more durable. Now, you may be asking yourself the most commonly asked question: why would I want a 22 karat gold bullion coin like the American Gold Eagle when I can buy a 24 karat gold bullion coin like the Canadian Maple or the Pamp Swiss or the Rand refinery bars that Costco has also offered in the last several months? Well, the answers are many, but the main thing to remember is that even though the American Gold Eagle is 22 karat gold, that is once again 91.67% pure, it actually weighs more than a troy ounce. And those other vehicles that I just talked about, the Canadian Maple, the Rand bar, and the Pamp Swiss bar, those are all exactly 1 troy ounce. So in order to make up for the other metals that the American Eagle is alloyed with, they actually weigh more than a troy ounce. In this case, they weigh 33.931 grams versus a traditional troy ounce of 31.1035 grams. So they do weigh more than a troy ounce to account for the other two metals that they are alloyed with. Regardless of which vehicle you're choosing, whether it's a Pamp Swiss bar, a Rand bar, a Canadian Maple, or the American Gold Eagle coin, they all contain 1 full troy ounce of pure gold. So even though the Eagle is 22 karat gold, it weighs more than enough to account for the other two metals. And everybody who buys and sells precious metals on the global market, and that's where gold is traded, is on the global market, they understand that the American Gold Eagle is 22 karat, and for the most part, they are traded the exact same way that pure gold coins are traded. Each of them contains exactly 1 troy ounce of pure gold. So it is valued the same, traded the same, and the premiums are the amount that you have to pay over and above the value of the gold, are pretty much the same. And in fact, because the American Gold Eagle is such a popular gold coin around the world, its premiums, and again, that's the amount that you pay over and above the value of the precious metals, tend to be higher than most of these other vehicles that we've talked about. And the demand for the American Gold Eagle is quite strong, partially because of the strength of the United States of America. And that is really why I am so pleased that Costco has decided to start offering the American Gold Eagle, especially because recently they started offering the American Silver Eagle. And I think these two products complement each other perfectly. I could not be more happy. I've made an entire video about Costco selling these American Silver Eagles. I'll put a link to that down below if you'd like to pursue American Silver Eagles as well. So, we've talked about what American Gold Eagles are. They are an American Gold bullion vehicle, an American Gold bullion coin. They are 22 karat gold rather than 24 karat gold, but they contain enough material so that even alloyed with copper and silver like they are, they still contain 1 full troy ounce of pure gold. And the American Gold Eagle has a lot of benefits that some of the other vehicles that Costco has offered to date don't really. So we're going to go over some of those. We're going to talk a little bit more about what makes an American Gold Eagle special. We're going to talk about some of the positives. We're going to talk about some of the negatives, and there are a few negatives. It's always a good idea to go into something like this with your eyes open. And then I'll tell you a few conclusions, my suggestions, my thoughts, and my observations about this exciting new development with Costco offering the American Gold Eagle. So America's first gold bullion coin. America actually had coins that we circulated, that we spent up until and also including 1933. But then we stopped circulating gold coins, and Americans weren't allowed to own gold bullion until about 1974. The American Gold Eagle first released in 1986. So these go back decades now, and they have continued to be quite popular. Often they sell 1 million pieces or more every year, and these are dated every single year that they were released. They come out with a new date on them. They had a reverse that is kind of called the classic reverse. It's called the family of eagles, and you can see this is an eagle soaring above a nest filled with eagles. This is the classic reverse. It was used from 1986 up until 2021. In 2021, the United States Mint changed the design of the back of the coin, and I'll show a picture of one of those here. It is these 2024 dated gold eagles that Costco seems to be offering so far. So the back of them will look a little bit different from the gold eagles that I have here. The front of this design is the famous St. Gaudens, Augustus St. Gaudens gold $20 gold piece, originally released in 1907. And the $20 gold piece was such a popular coin that the United States Mint decided to reuse that design in 1986 when they started releasing the eagle again, a gold bullion coin. One of the most popular gold bullion coins of all time. It's popular in the United States of America. They are popular around the world. So another reason why I'm really happy that Costco has decided to add this to the list of the products that they are offering in the bullion category. Some positives. Again, this is a United States product. If you are in the United States like I am, there's something to be said about cheering on the home team. And when it comes to things like bullion, we often suggest that if you are in a part of the world that is not the United States of America, it might not be a bad idea to stick to those bullion pieces that come from your area, your region, or your country, simply because ultimately your buyer will probably be more familiar with it, and it may be easier for you to exit that position should that time come. The same thing is true of the American Gold Eagles. If you are based somewhere else in the world, you'll find that they are still popular and they are still a well-known gold bullion vehicle. But if you are in Canada, maybe it's a better idea for you to look at the Canadian maple. If you're in the UK, maybe it's a better idea to look at the United Kingdom London Mint Britannia gold coin. And the same thing is true of the United States. Here in the United States, it's a good idea to at least consider the coins that come from your own country, because the exit will probably be a little bit easier should you ever come to the conclusion that it's time for you to sell. They are also a non-circulating legal tender coin. What does that mean? I talked about non-circulating legal tender in some of the earlier Costco videos. Again, I'll put a link to those videos down below if you'd like to take a deeper dive into what Costco has offered so far. Non-circulating legal tender simply means that they do have a face value on them, but that face value is rarely something you would ever find spent. So these gold eagles have a $50 face value, and you can see down here at the very bottom, it actually says $50. Now, these contain 1 ounce of pure gold, and as I am filming this, gold is around $2,000 per ounce. So of course you would never spend these for $50, but that non-circulating legal tender amount does offer certain protections. It is much more difficult for people to counterfeit something that is American currency than it is for them to counterfeit just a generic gold bar. So there are certain protections. There are also some benefits when it comes to taxation. Now, I want to stress that I am not a financial advisor. If these are suggestions or questions that you would like to pursue, please contact a licensed financial planner or a licensed accountant who specializes in these types of questions. But there are often certain particular benefits to having American made, American mint products that do have a face value on them. Check into it if you're interested. Costco is a known retailer, and if you're watching this video, you are probably already a member of Costco. I myself am a member of Costco. I like shopping at Costco. I like the quality of products that they offer. And the fact that Costco is offering the American gold bullion products to complement the American silver products really shows that the people behind the scenes at Costco are putting significant thought into this. And I really like that. I really applaud this decision. I think it's a great idea. And the great thing about Costco is the price. So the premiums, again, that's the amount of money that you have to pay over and above the value of the gold, and that goes to pay for the profit of the people that are selling it. It pays for the minting, the distribution, the packaging, keeping the lights on, paying the employees. You can't expect them to sell a gold coin for the value of the gold contained. They couldn't keep the lights on if they did that. But the premiums at Costco tend to be quite small. So these are all some of the benefits that Costco is offering by offering the American Gold Eagle coins. They come from the United States. They have that non-circulating legal tender protection. Costco is a known retailer, and Costco offers an excellent price. On top of that, I just think the American Gold Eagle is a really nifty product, and I really applaud Costco for carrying it. But are there negatives? There are some negatives, at least some things to consider. I want to arm you with as much information as I can so you feel like you're making a confident decision for yourself. This is ultimately your decision, and I want you to feel comfortable with it if this is something that you want to pursue. So the negatives, if you want to call them negatives, you have to be a Costco member. Again, you have to be a Costco member. You're probably a member if you're watching this video. It doesn't cost that much money to become a Costco member, but it is kind of a negative. You have to be a Costco member. These are not open to the public. As with the other bullion products that we've seen Costco offer, they are limiting this to 2 pieces at this point. So at this point, you can only buy 2 full troy ounce American Gold Eagle pieces at one purchase. And I suspect that demand for these are going to be very high. If the past is any indication, we saw that there was a perpetual run on the other gold and silver products that Costco has offered. In other words, these pieces might come and go very quickly on Costco's website. And if you're lucky enough to find a Costco that actually has them physically in store, there's a good chance that they are going to sell out quickly. So the limit of 2 can be seen as kind of a negative. The big negative that I see with Costco offering anything is that while it's clear Costco is putting some serious thought and consideration to the pieces that they are carrying, they can't really offer you any kind of guidance. So if you're going to go to a local coin shop, for example, and you explain to the person behind the counter how much your budget is, why you would like to pursue these items, they may be able to offer you suggestions that you haven't considered yet. And Costco can't really do that. The person behind the counter at Costco will be happy to take your credit card number or your cash and allow you to buy these items, but they can't really offer you any guidance or suggestions. And I think that that is a potential big negative. If you are comfortable with these purchases, then it's probably not that big of a negative. But I always want my subscribers and my viewers to be as well informed as they possibly can be. Some other negatives. As we've seen in the past, Costco is not offering or allowing returns on these products, and they're not letting you get refunds on these products. There are also no price adjustments on these. Remember that gold and silver and all precious metals are globally traded commodities, and the prices can go up and down very rapidly in the blink of an eye. So it's not surprising that Costco will not buy these back from you, and you cannot return them to Costco. Once you've bought them, you've committed to the purchase and they are yours. Keep that in mind. That's a really important distinction. And I've talked before in the past, and I won't belabor the points, that there is no divisibility for these items. In other words, if you're buying a one gold eagle, one of these 1 full troy ounce American gold eagle coins, you don't have the benefit of being able to buy a smaller piece. And consequently, if the time ever comes for you to sell and you must sell a certain amount to get a certain amount of money, you have to sell these entire full troy ounce coins. You can't sell part of a coin. Remember that Costco won't buy these back anyway, so you are eventually going to have to probably find somebody locally who will buy them. And I'll, again, put a link to some of the issues down below, to some of the other videos that I've made that discuss this, that offer some suggestions when it comes time to sell, because Costco will not buy these back from you. 1 ounce increments means that you can't sell a smaller amount, you can't buy a smaller amount. That leads to dollar cost averaging. Dollar cost averaging is just a simple method of buying anything. It can be investments or anything else, where you decide to allocate a small amount of money on a regular basis occurring over time, rather than plunking down a whole bunch of money all at once. And remember that with gold currently right around $2,000, please keep in mind that gold does fluctuate. So by the time you're watching this video, the price of gold could be down considerably, the price of gold could be up considerably. But for the sake of this video, if we're assuming that gold is kind of this theoretical $2,000 per ounce, you must drop at least $2,000 to buy one of these coins. You can't buy anything smaller. And what I have laid out here in front of you are the different sizes that the American Gold Eagle comes in. Here's the full troy ounce size, but the American Gold Eagles also come in 1/2 troy ounce size. These are 1/4 troy ounce, and these small ones here are 1/10 troy ounce. As of right now, Costco is only offering the full troy ounce. That's the big boy, and that's the one that will cost currently in excess of $2,000. If you have deep pockets and you are comfortable dropping $2,000, or in the case of Costco's limit of two, $4,000 plus, then these smaller increments are not that big of a concern for you, and it's not something you should even really worry about. But if you do have a smaller budget, it may be a good idea to at least consider these smaller options, the 1/10 ounce, the 1/4 ounce, or the 1/2 ounce, because they are proportionately smaller. Now, as we've talked about before, the premiums tend to be higher per ounce when you go to these smaller vehicles. But the flexibility of having a smaller amount for a purchase means that your dollar cost averaging amount can be smaller, and should you ever need to sell, you can sell exactly the increments that you need in order to get the money that you need. So kind of negatives, really just about the flexibility of these Gold Eagles that are coming from Costco. What are my personal thoughts about this? I thought I would just drop a few items on you before we're leaving. I think that this is a fantastic decision for all the reasons I've talked about. The main thing I really think it does is it complements the American Silver Eagles. And frankly, when they first announced that they were going to offer the Silver Eagle, I was a little bit shocked that they hadn't come out with the gold American Eagle. They complement each other perfectly. These are items that are backed by the full faith of the United States government, made by the United States Mint, one of the world's largest assayers, that is, refiners and assayers of precious metals going back hundreds of years. So these are a really solid choice. I really like these vehicles. I think that they are a really nice option for Costco to have offered. But remember that Costco will not make a market on these. They will not buy them back from you. You cannot get a refund, and you can't get a price adjustment on them either. If the time comes for you to sell, you may want to contact a local coin shop, or some of the other options included with the video that I mentioned down below that shows you some of the other things that you can pursue when the time comes to sell. You might consider these fractional pieces just because of the flexibility that we talked about. And ultimately, if you are going to be buying these pieces and you do have a local coin shop that you think is trustworthy, contact them, reach out to them. And it's not just about eventually when it comes time to sell, it's that they may have some other options that work better for you. Remember, they can offer that personalized guidance that Costco really can't offer you. I think this is an exciting development. I am thrilled that Costco is offering these American Gold Eagle coins, even though they are 22 karat gold, and a lot of the world seems to be moving a little bit closer to 24 karat gold. Remember, if you take one thing away from this video, it's that even though they are 22 karat, they also contain 1 full troy ounce of pure gold, just like the Canadian maple, just like the Pamp Swiss bars, just like the Rand refinery bars, just like any other major full troy ounce gold vehicle that you can find on the market. They are alloyed with other metals to make them more durable, and that's probably a good thing. The American Gold Eagle at Costco. If you haven't already, I would encourage you to subscribe to the channel, look at some of the other videos that we've talked about Costco, and feel free to dive deeper into any other subjects that we talk about on this channel. We go very, very deep, and we go very shallow for people who are new to the worlds of precious metals and coins. If you would like the video, I would appreciate that too. That pushes the video in YouTube's algorithms to get it in front of more people who are interested in these same topics that you are. If you have any questions about any of the products that I've talked about here today, by all means leave a question down below. As I like to say, if you've got that question, there's a very good chance that somebody else has that question too, and it's great to be able to answer those questions for everybody who has a question about these kinds of products. And as always, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey as you go deeper into the world of coins and physical precious metals.